Hi, everyone out there in the world of YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, stopping by and checking out my channel. My name is Jacqueline Anderson, and in this edition of the JCLPAA In-depth Series, I will share my opinion on a recent development in the accounting world. And if you haven't heard, the GFOA has launched an initiative to stop the use of the word or acronym CAFR, which is CAFR, and stands for Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. I will say this was brought to my attention by a subscriber. Thank you, CL, for suggesting this topic and tuning in and supporting the channel. So GFOA is the Government Finance Officers Association, and CAFR, which is the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, and often referred to as CAFR in the accounting world. And along with that, I will talk about why being politically correct is important. Not so much concentrating on this recent development, but how it all ties into being a certified public accountant and a trusted professional in the accounting profession. So I will start by framing this discussion and saying I will not continuously repeat this offensive word, but give you some context. So we'll start with nigger. That'll be referred to as the N word. CAFR as it relates to accounting, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, CAFR, will be referred to as the C word. And this new word that I have become familiar with, because this was brand new to me, I was not aware of it. It seems to be pronounced, as best as I can tell, is CAFR, and it's spelled KAFFIR. So that'll be the K word. So we got the N word, the C word, and the K word. And some history or some context about the K word, and then why it's important that the GFOA has launched this initiative, why that's important, how that ties in with being a CPA, and specifically a Black CPA. So some context here, again, my research, which has been limited, I will learn that it has origins in religion, which a lot of words do. Once you dig into them and dissect them, they have roots in some religious context. And this word is no different. However, it was used primarily in Africa and now South Africa, specifically in the southern region, to demean and identify Black people or differentiate Black South Africans from white South Africans. And again, this dates back years ago, 1300s, 1400s, and has evolved over time to here in 2020 to be I would say a fighting word, which is equivalent to the N word here in the United States. And I've also come across some information that says it can be criminal to use that word in South Africa, which is a difference here with the N word, which is interesting. So if you're interested, you might want to do some additional research, because I will say this was brand new to me until I got this email from the subscriber I mentioned, CL. So thank you. Because initially I thought to myself, here we go again, being politically correct. And why would the GFOA find it important, or were they just giving lip service? Because this is now an era of talking about being diverse and inclusive and pay equity in the workplace. So that's what I was initially thinking. But after giving it some thought and doing some research, again, albeit limited, I understand why that organization found it important to take a stand and hopefully have some policies that will support diversity in all areas, pay equity, and be more inclusive throughout the organizations that they represent. So starting back to now learning that the K word is offensive, because we are in a global society, you may come in contact with people from other countries now. The internet has made the world so small, you have to be mindful of the words you use, because you just never know how what you say will affect someone, or who other people are related to, have ties to, because we are interacting with people from around the world on a daily basis now, which is unbelievable. So I can see why GFOA found it important. And then reading more about it, they do support organizations who have some ties to South Africa. So again, their customers or client base could truly be offended by the continuous use of this word. And in the accounting field, you see that acronym all day long. And specifically with the GFOA, since I work in government and have worked the organization I'm with over 19 years, this is a word we use all day long, and certain times of the year when it's time to compile the annual report, that acronym is printed multiple times in that document. So it'll be interesting to see how organizations move forward considering this initiative now. So again, you have the C word and the K word. And from what I've learned, and it's the emphasis on the last syllable, how you pronounce that last, that ER part or R part. So in considering your dialect, accent, and a relaxed pronunciation of it, it could sound like the exact same word. So again, I understand why it would be important to maybe just stop using the word altogether. So it looks like the GFOA is considering or is suggesting that you don't not necessarily pronounce the letters, but just say the entire word all the way through: comprehensive annual financial report or annual report. But it'll be left up to the individual organizations how they want to tackle it, or if they even want to adopt these changes. But it probably would be beneficial and at least look good if they did. But my personal opinion about diversity, inclusion, and equity, now this is JCLPAA In-depth Series, my opinion, my personal thoughts. I think your actions need to line up. This should be evidence-based. Yeah, it sounds good, it's giving some lip service or the optics, but pull your personnel records. Let's see what the gender, age, pay, years of service, positions, line those up, compare those, analyze and see where the disparities are if you're truly about diversity, inclusion, and equity in your organizations. That's where I would like to see some evidence. But this is a good start in the accounting world or in any organization. And because accounting is based solely on referrals as you build your business, or if you're even in corporate America, as you're trying to climb that corporate ladder, you have to be politically correct and not offend people. Because as I've stated before, and where somebody told me, I read and learned somewhere, people do business with those they know, like, and trust. So being politically correct is part of the territory. And this is applicable whether you're an entrepreneur on your own or within an organization. And they all go together. These are not mutually exclusive. This is like a both and. This is all or nothing. Again, who people do business with those they know, like, and trust. You cannot have one without the other. I have seen it. You may not even necessarily do a great job, but because they like you, you get more opportunities. Because they trust you, they'll give you another chance. And then because they know you, they won't necessarily vet you. Again, back to people will bring into their inner circle those they know, like, and trust. So being politically correct will help you in getting to know people. So again, back to why this initiative is important, because as you grow your business and interact with people from all walks of life and cultures, it's good to understand their backgrounds and be able to relate to them and connect with them, and then not say something that could be deemed as offensive. So now that this has been brought to your attention, don't be surprised if you get an email or notification in your organization. We're no longer using the acronym or the initials, the letters, the words CAFR, because it is racially offensive to specifically Black South Africans. So that's a history lesson right there, and maybe a lesson in business to always be aware of what you're saying, who your audience is or potential client is, and know that information is power. So again, thank you for the suggestion. And if there's anyone else out there who has a suggestion on a topic for the JCLPAA In-depth Series, please let me know. I will see you next time, and never forget who you are and whose you are, and there's no time like the present.